Hi everyone, welcome back. Let's just see if we can have some fun with this deck that I purchased simply because it seemed so different to me. Mythologia Fennica Tarot, Embracing the Ancient Finnish Wisdom. I liked the front cover image when I saw it on Amazon. It is by Susanna Salo. And it comes in a good sturdy box. It's put out by Rockpool. Gives you a little hint on the back there. And some of the folklore books and things that I see on Amazon for the Finnish can be quite dramatic with the snakes and the skulls and things like that. But it did interest me, and it says here we can interpret our lives afresh with ancient Finnish wisdom. So Finnish mythology, the basis for this tarot, is rooted in nature. Mythologia Fennica Tarot includes the traditional 78 cards, but is divided into the 4 classical elements of nature being fire, water, air, and earth. And it gives you a little bit more information there, but I have been sitting with this for a couple weeks, and I think it's time to let the energy out. So let's see what it has to offer. I got my little snippy here, and that seemed to have gone quite well. Not too bad at all. So it's got a nice matte finish to the box. Let's see what we can get. Oh, it doesn't have the thumb holes. A little bit. Oh, nice. So there's some decorative feature that we saw on the front there. Almost like a Celtic knot. But this is Finnish. And I'm interested to see the size of the book. That's quite nice. That's a good size book. And Rockpool on the back. So I'm just going to check and see when this one was put out, if there's a copyright. Yeah, let's see here. All rights reserved. Copyright text images 2024. Okay, there it is there. So here is our content page, and I really like the sort of greeny blue that they're using here. So that's going to be interesting when we get into the suits, the folk of fire. I like how they've used that. There is some information. Let's see what it says about the author. Put that there for a second. So if we go to 169, it's giving us a photograph and a little blurb over here. So she was born and raised in Helsinki, the capital of Finland, and in her work she brings Finnish and Karelian old mythology and folklore into a form that is easily accessible. Influenced by folklore and mythological creatures, her card springs from her Finnish roots. Her goal is to always find something behind the myth that anyone can relate to in their own life, and brings the characters, events, and creatures of mythology into modern times. Now it says also she's a self-taught artist and painter, illustrated most of the cards herself. She loves new painting techniques and new ideas, and as an illustrator, she wants to give visual form to mythological creatures. Okay, so a little bit more there. Now, what else is in the book? Take this away for a second, because it looks like, the print is a good size. You're getting some really large full-page images on the left there. Let's just see. Oh, I like that we're still getting full page image views. That is fabulous. So I'm going to tilt this down a bit so that you can see a little bit more of the book and what we're getting. Move the candle out of the way. Okay, so it looks like a 3-card spread there. And over here, your card for the day. And that might be good in the instance of this book, because if we're going to learn about Finnish Mythologia, then we're going to have to go slowly. So there is a bigger spread with 5 cards. We get into the major arcana. We are getting a picture of the card, the main title, and how she relates it to the 78 cards of the typical Rider-Waite, but this is not going to be typical. And that's exactly what I want. I don't know if the borders and the wording will bother me yet. I'll just have to see. Various colors. Okay, so that book is a good size. And coming back to this, it talks about downloading your free Rockpool app for more amazing decks. Okay. Ooh, the backs look quite interesting. So there's our pretty box with the knotwork again there. Just cardboard, nothing spectacular. And then nice ribbon with the knotwork on again, which is not going to slip off. So there we go. And that starts with the Fool. They're a good size card. Really good size card. So if I reach over for a second, I'm going to pause and get the tarot card size comparison for us. Okay, so if I compare it to my typical Rider-Waite, geez, it seemed bigger, but it's not. Look at that. Just a smidge. Surprising, it seemed quite large. Okay, so, ooh, they are gilded silver on the side. Was not expecting that. I think in a spread, that's going to look nice. So let's get into the cards. Here we have the beginning. So I get the idea of the egg cracking open, but also a lot of nature is going to be coming into this deck. We have our moon cycle, our sun, and you know the type is not that hard to read. The Fool part is a little bit light, but that's okay. So the beginning. Now that is our magician, and I'm not going to try to pronounce all of these words. But there we see him with all his tools at his table. There's our high priestess. The empress. Some of them have that sort of raw, striking artwork. They feel nice. They're a very matte finish, and you get that sound when you shuffle them. Our emperor. The shaman. is for the Hierophant. The Lovers. Lamentation of the Boat. So that is our Chariot. Strength. Oh, that's striking. Now that is the Hermit. Sampo. Our Wheel of Fortune. Love Rivals for Justice. There's our Hanged Man. Loving the artwork with the reflections in the background. That was on the cover of the box. So that is our Death card. Like the river Styx, that boat that goes across. I'm going to pause for a second because I want to see what it says about the Death card here. Okay, so there are some definite words in Finnish that are hard to get our tongues around, but it does suggest that the purpose was for the ferrying of the dead souls over the Black River to ferry people across. The girl wouldn't take anyone living on her boat, and I'll show you the word there. Venmonen, we'll say, tried to deceive her to no avail. Finally, Vennonen confessed he was after the missing words. The lass agreed to take the sage over the river, but warned him he would not get the words and would not return. He was given an uncomfortable bed of snakes to rest upon while the dead wove nets across the river to prevent him from escaping. Sensing doom, he couldn't sleep, so he transformed himself into a snake and slithered between the nets. The swan that swam in the river over to Nella, which Lemkanen was unsuccessful in trying to shoot when Loie gave him the task, was a soul bird that couldn't be killed, and the soul bird refers to an old belief that a person's soul transforms into a bird upon death and leaves the body with the very last breath. We carry on as the soul bird, although our worldly journey has come to an end. So its message in the bottom suggests the card doesn't point to an actual death, but to changes on a physical level, letting go of old things, and most importantly, a new beginning. There are moments in life when you are meant to turn over a new leaf, to let everything that has become obsolete die away. This releases you from old ties and renews life in an essential way, and the process becomes painful only when opposed. By accepting change and the fact that life itself is change, you can become free from the torments and fears caused by it. Dare to let go of that which is leaving and be open to that which is coming into place. Oh, that's kind of nice. It is difficult, though, the language. So if you can skip over there those and still get the feeling, that will be helpful. So there we have our Temperance card. Gorgeous, gorgeous card. Lots of energy there. Wow. Very powerful. And there is our devil card. I love the staff. Lots of fiery energy, very beastly. Okay, the great oak. I want to see that up close. The North Star. That's nifty. Two cards stuck together there. So that is our moon card, and we do have very small here indications I'm seeing for the numbers. So that's kind of nice. Interesting with the ladder to the moon. Liberation of the sun. Our judgment card. Now that's interesting. I got to see what that one's about. Now this one talks about the soul being driven from one trouble to another. And many an innocent suffered for this. His mother protected her son with her life and suffered the consequences, and by doing so unwittingly encouraged her son to always undertake one raid after another. It calls for good judgment and taste. But good judgment doesn't mean criticizing others. When you cease to criticize, your own understanding grows. Try to see people and situations without prejudice and accept things as they are. It urges us to abandon our old narrow perspective and see things from a broader one, according to your own calling. Try to steer your life in a constructive direction. To me, it looks like a coffee cup and things that have been brewing in there, and trying to find solace, I guess, in amongst it all. Sometimes when we are troubled, we sit over that cup of coffee or tea and try to assess a situation. That's beautiful. The tree of life for the world. So here is the wand suit. And we do have the fish here, and the roots going down into the earth, and almost like a lightning bolt working through. And we do have in the corners symbols, I guess, for fire energy. Birth of iron for the Two of Wands. Now that does look like Two of Swords, but it is the Two of Wands. And there's our bee again that we saw in the Empress. The Three of Wands. Sometimes takes a little bit for the brain to kick in and see the hair here. Wow, the Four of Wands. Well, let's see what it says for that one. Now, when I skip into the message part, it talks about the way years ago we used to cleanse the forest and renew it by setting it on fire. And it symbolically represents the destroying, the cleansing, and renewing the power of fire. It refers to the complete purification and renewal of thoughts. This is why I'm liking, I think, this, because even the meanings are expanding us. our thoughts, our ways of looking at the Four of Wands, not the typical way. So sometimes it's necessary to hack away old ways of thinking so something new may grow. Set yourself free from the chains of the past and renew your life boldly. In relationships, this card may symbolize the destruction of presumptions and procedures and on. Okay, so I better get going here. I can't believe I've spent this much time already. Okay, we've got 5 of Wands. So we are getting some animal creatures. 6, I love that one. 7, a lot of nature. Felt like there's 2. Yep, there's 2 there. 8, abstract painting. 9, the dragon for 10. Page, bird, that makes sense. The knight. The queen. And the king. There's our cups. Wow. Will of the Wisp for 5. Real shamanic feel to this deck. Beautiful. There's our page. Knight. Queen. I really like the artwork. King. Okay, we're into our swords. Two. Interesting. Beautiful. The graveyard. The witch's circle. Yeah, because those mushrooms are poisonous, I believe. So they're really tapping into the energy of the suit there. Pentacles. If you dream journey, this might be very good. Mountain trolls. A little bit of a fairy quality to it. Liking all the nature. And it's not pretty. It's rough. It's raw. Okay. Well, it will take a bit to get past the language barrier. The cards are excellent quality. And it does bring in animal elements in a much stronger deck quality than I've seen. And I really enjoy it. But I'm going to have to work my way slowly through the book and try a card a day and see how I get on. But if you have this deck and you have anything you want to share, please do so. This is Craggy Brook, and wishing everyone a fabulous day.